Hello, grade 3. How are you? Let's continue chapter 9, lessons 86 to 90. Let's start lesson 86, the apply part. We have a game, okay, and cards, and we want to open each card. Let's open the first card here. We have set of circles. 2 are red and 1 is blue. The question in this card: what is the fraction of red circles? Remember the rule of the fraction equals the number of colored parts over the number of total parts. So here ask yourself, how many red circles here we have? Yes, we have 2 red circles. Out of the total of all circles, yes, the total are 3. So here the fraction is 2 red out of the total 3. Let's open the second card. We have set of stars. Set of stars. And the question here, we want the fraction of green stars. Ask yourself again, how many green stars here? Yes, 3 green stars. Out of the total of the stars, all of the stars are 4. So the fraction here is 3 green out of the total 4, 3/4. You can complete another examples by the same way as a homework, by drawing any shapes and find its fraction. Our challenge here, number 1, Walid ate 4/10 of a candy bar. Draw a model that shows how much of the bar Walid ate. What fraction of the bar did he left? Draw a model here, it means like a number line. So look at the fraction here is 4/10. So look at the denominator here is 10. So I draw number line with the starting point 0 and the ending point 1. And I will make 9 dashes inside this number line. Okay, I wanted to label each dash by its fraction as a denominator 10. So 0 will be 0/10, 1/10, 2/10, and so on till the whole fraction is 10/10. Here we wanted to locate 4/10 in this number line. What shall we do? We must start from 0/10, join between 0/10 and 4/10. Okay, this is the location of 4/10 in this number line. Here, he asked me another question. What fraction of the bar did he left? Here I have, Walid has 10 parts. Okay, he ate 4 parts. How many parts did he left? Left, it means what? Left, it means minus. So make 10 minus 4 equals 6. So the parts Walid left are 6 parts. But here I want the fraction. The fraction here, how many parts did he left? He left 6 parts out of the total of parts are 10. So he left 6 out of 10 of the candy bar. Number 2, look at this picture and solve the questions. What fraction is shaded? The fraction, the rule of the fraction, the colored part over the number of colored part over the number of total parts. Here, how many colored parts? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the colored part here is 4. Out of the total parts, it means colored and not colored. Okay? So let's count all of these parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So the fraction of colored part here is 4 out of 12. 4 the number of the colored part and 12 the number of the total parts. Question number 2. What fraction is white? How many parts here are white? Let's count. It will be 8 white. Out of the total of all parts are 12. The total parts not a change. 12. Okay? So the fraction here is 8 out of 12. Number 3. Maha said that in this set of apples, quarter of them are red. Do you agree or disagree? Explain in the box below. Here I have set of apples. 4 are red and 4 are green. I wanted to divide this set into 2 equal parts. 2 equal parts, it means into 2 halves. Into 2 halves. So each part will be half. The red apple is half and the green apple will be half also. So here half of them are red and also half of them are green. So do you agree or disagree? No, I don't agree. Let's start here with Math Journal. Reflect on your learning about unit fractions and proper fractions. What are the differences and similarities between unit fraction and proper fraction? We said before, unit fraction, it's a fraction whose numerator is 1. For example, 1 out of 2, 1 out of 10. But the proper fraction, it's a fraction whose numerator must be smaller than its denominator. For example here, 3 over 6 and 10 over 35. And here we can say unit fraction, it's a proper fraction. Unit fraction, it's a proper fraction because the numerator 1 less than the denominator. Let's revise the comparing fractions. Here we said before we have 3 types of comparing fractions. Number 1, the same denominator, and it's called normal fractions. What about normal fractions? If the denominators are the same, we will compare the numerators together. For example here, 3 over 5 and 1 over 5. We have same denominators, so it's called normal fraction. Look at the numerator up. Which is big, 3 or 1 in the normal? Yes, 3 is bigger than 1. The second type is crazy fraction. What about crazy fraction? If the numerators are the same, we will compare the denominators and the smallest denominator is the greatest fraction. And we said the small is big and the big is small in crazy fraction. For example, 2 over 7 and 2 over 4. Here we have same numerators, so it's called crazy fraction. What shall we do? Look at down. Which is big in crazy, 4 or 7? Yes, 4 is bigger than 7 in crazy fraction. So 2 over 4 is greater than 2 over 7. The last part or the last type here, the different numerators and denominators. We solve it by cross multiplication or the scissors from down to up and compare the result. For example here, 2 over 3 and 4 over 5. Here we have different numerators and denominators. What shall we do here? We must make cross multiplication from down to up. So 5 times 2 cross multiplication, it means times. 5 times 2 equals 10. And in the other side, 3 times 4 is 12. Which is bigger, 10 or 12? Yes, 12 is bigger. So 4 over 5 is bigger than 2 over 3. Lesson 87. The connect part here. 4 children wanted to share 2 square cakes so that each child gets the same amount. See how many different ways you can divide the cakes equally among the 4 children. Here we have squares and we want to divide each square into 4 equal parts. We have many ways to divide these squares. The first way, we can make this. The second way, we can make this. The third way, we can make the lines, 3 lines vertical by vertical way and 3 lines by horizontal way. The last 2 squares or 4 squares, solve it as a homework. You can use another ways to divide each square into 4 equal parts. Let's start the apply part. Comparing fractions with same denominators. Number 1, which fraction is greater, quarter or 3/4? Show or explain your work in the box below. Here we will locate each fraction on the number line. The starting point is 0 and the ending point must be 1. The denominator here is 4. So we must make 3 dashes inside the number line and label each dash by its fraction, starting from 0 over 4, 1 over 4, 2 over 4, and so on. Let's locate the first fraction is quarter. So you must join from 0 over 4 to quarter. Let's locate 3/4. Also, you must start from 0 over 4 to 3 over 4. Here, which is big, the quarter distance or the 3/4 distance? Which is big? It's clear, 3/4. So here we have same denominators. So it's a normal fraction. Look at the numerators up. Which is bigger, 3 or 1 in normal? Yes, 3 is bigger than 1. So quarter is smaller than 3/4 or 3/4 is bigger than quarter. Number 2, what's your hypothesis for comparing any fractions? Here I give you an example, 6 over 3 and 4 over 3. The first step, it's crazy or normal? Yes, it's normal. Why? Because we have same denominators. So you must look up. Which is bigger in normal, 6 or 4? Yes, 6 is bigger than 4. So 6 over 3 is greater than 4 over 3. The last example here. Which fraction is greater, 5 over 8 or 2 over 8? You must ask yourself, it's a crazy fraction or normal fraction? Yes, it's a normal fraction. Why? Because we have same denominators. So compare the numerators together. Which is bigger in normal, 5 or 2? Yes, 5 is bigger than 2, so 5 over 8 is bigger than 2 over 8. Number 4 here. What other fractions could you use to test your hypothesis? Here I will give you an example. 2 over 6 and 4 over 6. It's crazy or normal? Yes, it's normal. Why? Because we have same denominators. So you must compare the numerators together. Which is bigger in normal, 4 or 2? Yes, 4 is bigger than 2. So 4 over 6 is bigger than 2 over 6. The second part here, comparing fractions with the same numerators. Which fraction is greater, 2/3 or 2/4? Let's locate each fraction on the number line to make sure which is bigger. 0 is a starting point 0 and ending point 1. Let's locate 2/3 here. Label each dash by its fraction and join between 0 over 3 to 2 over 3. Down we divide this number line into 4 equal parts. So label each dash by the denominator 4. 0 over 4, 1 over 4, 2 over 4, and so on. Let's locate 2 over 4 starting from 0 to 2 over 4. Which is bigger, the distance or the location of 2/3 or the location of 2/4? Look at the number lines. Yes, 2/3 is bigger than 2/4. So it's crazy, okay? When we have crazy fractions, look at the denominators. Compare the denominators. Which is bigger in crazy, 3 or 4? Yes, 3 is bigger than 4 in crazy fraction. So 2/3 is bigger than 2/4. Number 6, I give you an example. 5 over 4 and 5 over 8. It's crazy or normal? It's crazy. So you must compare the denominators together. Which is big in crazy, 4 or 8 in crazy? Yes, 4 is bigger than 8 in crazy fraction. So 5 over 4 is bigger than 5 over 8. The next page, number 7, 3/4 and 3/8. Here, ask yourself, it's crazy or normal? Yes, it's crazy. Why? Because we have same numerators. So we will compare the denominators together. Which is big in crazy, 4 or 8 in crazy? 4 is bigger than 8 in crazy. So 3/4 is bigger than 3/8. Number 8, I give you an example like 3 over 5 and 3 over 9. It's crazy. Why? Because we have same numerators. So look at the denominators here. Which is big in crazy fraction, 5 or 9? Yes, 5 is bigger than 9. So 3 over 5 is bigger than 3 over 9. Let's start our math journal. How do we compare fractions? We said before we have types of comparing fractions. Same denominators, it's called normal fraction. For example here, 2 over 6 and 4 over 6. It's same denominators, so we will compare the numerators up. Which is big in normal, 4 or 2? Yes, 4 over 6 is bigger than 2 over 6. So it's called normal fraction. The second part or the second type here, same numerators. For example, 3 out of 5 and 3 out of 9. Which is big in crazy? It's crazy. 5 or 9? Yes, 5 is bigger than 9 in crazy. So it's called crazy fraction. Let's start lesson 88, the connect part. Order the number sets below from the least to the greatest. Number 1, we want to we wanted to start from the smallest to the greatest. Which is smallest here? 324 and cancel. Also 342 cancel, and 432, and the last one 443. Complete this page as a homework. Let's start with a new part of fractions. It's called adding fractions. Our steps. What about adding fractions? Number 1, put the denominator as it is. Number 2, add the numerators together. For example, to be clear, 2 over 7 and or plus 4 over 7. We wanted to make addition operation here. What shall we do? What do you observe here? Look at the denominators. The denominators here are same. So, put the denominator as it is, 7, not a change. And add the numerators together. 2 plus 4 equals 6. So the result will be 6 over 7. Again, 2 over 7 plus 4 over 7. Here we have same denominators. Same denominators. What shall we do? The first step, put the denominator as it is in the result. The second step is 2 plus 4. Make the addition operation. 2 plus 4 equals 6. So you can't add the denominators together. You can't add the denominators together. Let's start the apply part here. Answer the following questions. Be sure to show your work. Look at number 1, this figure, candy bar. And the question, write this model as a fraction. Remember the rule of the fraction. Equals the number of colored parts over the number of total parts. Here, how many colored parts? Yes, we have 2 colored parts. How many total parts? It means colored and not colored. All the parts. All the parts here are 4. So the fraction here is 2 colored out of 4 total. Candy part 2. What the fraction of this model? How many colored also? 1 out of the total or 4. So the fraction here is 1 over 4. Add the 2 fractions together. Add, it means plus. 2 over 4 plus 1 over 4. We said to add 2 fractions, we have 2 steps. Put the denominator as it is. It's the same denominators. So put the denominators as it is. Step number 2, add the numerators together. 2 plus 1 equals 3. So the numerator is 3 and the denominators is 4, not a change. So the result will be 3 over 4. Don't forget, when we have same denominators, the denominator not a change. Put it as it is. The next page, number 1. 3 over 8 plus 2 over 8. What do you observe here? We have same denominators. So, remember the 2 steps. We said it before to add 2 fractions. Step number 1, put the denominator as it is. Step number 2, add the numerators together. 3 plus 2. So, 3 plus 2 equals 5. And the denominator, not a change, put it as it is, 8. So, the final result will be 5 over 8. Number 2, like number 1. 1 over 6 plus 3 over 6. Here we have same denominators. So, remember the steps. We must make it to add 2 fractions. Step number 1, put the denominator as it is. Step number 2, add the numerators together. So 1 plus 3 equals 4 and the denominator put it as it is, not a change. And you can't add the denominators because it's the same, you must put it as it is. Number 3, 1 over 2 plus 1 over 2. The first step, same denominators, so put the denominator as it is 2 and add the numerators. 1 plus 1 equals 2. So the result will be 2 plus 2 over 2 equals 1. We said before, any number over itself equals 1. It's a whole fraction. Number 4, 1 over 3 plus 1 over 3. Here, don't forget, same denominators, so put the denominator as it is, 3 down, 3 down, okay? And 1 plus 1 up equals 2, so the result, 2 over 3. The last one here, 1 over 4 plus 2 over 4. Look at down, we have same denominators. So put the denominator as it is in the result. This is step number 1. Step number 2, add the numerators together. 1 plus 2 equals 3. So the result will be 3. 1 plus 2 equals 3. And down the denominators, not a change, put it as it is 4. 3 over 4. Our challenge here, in the box below, write and solve your own problem, adding two fractions with the same denominator. I give you an example here. 2 over 5 plus 3 over 5. Let's remember together the steps of adding fractions. What do you observe here? We have same denominators, so the first step, put the denominator as it is. And step number 2, add the two numerators. So here, 2 plus 3 up equals 5. And look at down, we have same denominators, so put it 5 as it is in the denominator down. 5 over 5 equals 1 because it's a whole fraction, and we said before any number over itself equals 1. The math journal here, why can we only add fractions that have the same denominator? The answer, to add fractions we must have the same denominators. Why? Because the size of the equal pieces or parts doesn't change when you combine the two fractions together. Let's start lesson 89, the connect part here. Analyze the student's work and answer below. Identify the error. What did the student do right and what did they do wrong? 3 over 6 plus 1 over 6 equals 4 over 12. What did the student do right? He added the numerators of two fractions by correct way. But the mistake here, he add the denominators. And we said before, when we have same denominators, we can't add the denominators, but you must put it as it is. So the right answer here, 3 over 6 plus 1 over 6 equals 3 plus 1 equals 4 over the denominator, not a change. Put it as it is. Let's start the apply part here. This about subtracting fractions. The steps here, like the steps we said in adding fractions. But here we must make minus, subtraction, okay? Not adding. Number 1, 2 over 4 minus 1 over 4. What do you observe here? We observe we have same denominators. And we said before, when we have same denominators, you must put the denominator as it is, like this. And subtract here the numerators together. 2 minus 1 equals 1. And the denominator, not a change, put it as it is. So the result will be 1 over 4. Number 2, 2 over 8 minus 4 over 8. Like number 1. Here we have same denominators, so I can't subtract the denominators together. So you must put 8 as a denominator as it is. And subtract the numerators together. 4 minus 2 equals 2, and the denominator not a change. Put it as it is. So the final result will be 2 over 8. Number 3, 3 over 3 minus 1 over 3. Here we have also same denominators. So 3 down, not a change. And up, 3 minus 1 equals 2. So the result will be 2 over 3. The last one, 7 over 8 minus 3 over 8. Down we have same denominators, so put it as it is, 8 as a denominator, not a change. But 7 minus 3 up equals 4, so the result will be 4 over 8. Number 5, 3 over 12 minus 1 over 12. What shall we do here? Put the denominator as it is, 12 down, and subtract up 3 minus 1 equals 2. So the result will be 2 over 12. Number 6, 2 over 2 minus 1 over 2. Also, put the denominator as it is, 2 down, and subtract up the numerators. 2 minus 1 equals 1. So the result will be 1 over 2. Our challenge here in the box below, write your own fraction subtraction problem. Six over 8 minus 3 over 8. Also, put the denominator as it is, 8, and subtract up the numerators. 6 minus 3 equals 3. So the final result here, 3 over 8. The math journal reflect on your work what you have learned about adding and subtracting fractions. Here to add fractions we have 2 steps. Put the denominator as it is. Number 2, add the numerators together. Also, when we subtract 2 fractions, number 1, put the denominator as it is. Number 2, subtract the numerators also together. Let's start lesson 90, the connect part. Multiply or divide to find the missing number in each triangle. It's the fact family. Here, look at the second triangle, 81, 9, and space. Here, the number on the top, it's the biggest number in the triangle, and 9 is small. We want to get the missing number on the other side. What shall we do? I will ask you a question. 9 times what equals 81? Yes, 9 times 9 to get the biggest number, 81. So 9 times 9 equals 81. Down the third triangle here, 10 we have on the top 60, and 10 down as a small number, and 60 is the biggest number. And what shall we do to get the missing number here on the other side? 10, it means 10 times what equals 60? 10 times what? Yes, 10 times 6 equals 60 to get the biggest number on the top. Our challenge on the next page here, I will give you numbers to get the missing number. 64 and 24 in the other triangle, down 8. Here, the first triangle, 8 times what equals 64? 8 times 8 equals 64. So the small 8 times 8 also, we will get the biggest number on the top is 64. Let's start the apply part here. Solve the story problems. Number 1. Muhammad ate 1/6 of his sandwich at snack time and 2/6 of it at lunch. How much of his sandwich did he eat in all? To solve the story problem by easy way, we should make 3 circles. The first circle on the first fraction, the second circle on the second fraction, and the last circle on the keyword. Okay, here, all. All, it means what? All, it means plus. So we want to make 1 over 6 plus 2 over 6. Here, what do you observe? We observe we have same denominators. So we must put the denominator as it is, down, 6. 1 plus 2 up equals 3. So the result will be 3 over 6. Number 2. Omar brought 2 over 4 of a candy bar to the playground. He gave a quarter of it to a friend. How much does he have left? Here also we should make 3 circles. Circle on the first fraction, on the second fraction, and on the keyword. The keyword here is left. Left, it means what? Left, it means minus. So we must write 2 over 4. We must write the biggest fraction first. In subtraction operation, we must put the biggest fraction first. 2 over 4 minus 1 over 4. What shall we do here? We have same denominators, 4 down. So put denominator 4 as it is down. And subtract up. 2 minus 1 equals 1. So the final result will be 1 over 4. Number 3. Maha and Nagy baked cakes that were the same size. Maha gave 3/4 of her cake to her class. Nagy gave half of his cake to his class. Which class received more cake? Maha's class or Nagy's class? Here we wanted to compare. Which is bigger, 3/4 or half? What shall we do here? I draw a model to express 3/4 or to locate 3/4. Here, this bar, I divided it into 4 equal parts. Like this. 3 over 4, it means 4 equal parts down, and 3 up, it means 3 colored parts, like this. Here, I express 3/4 in this bar. I will draw another part to express half. And I divided it into 2 halves, so it's a half. Which is bigger, the first model or the second model? The 3/4 or a half, which is bigger amount? Which is bigger amount? Yes, 3/4 is bigger than half. The next page, number 4. The juice container at Farida's house was 5 over 6 full. Farida drank 5 over 6 of the juice. How much juice was left in the container? Here, don't forget the steps. Our steps here, circles on fractions and on the keyword. Here, the keyword here is left. Left, it means what? Left, it means minus. Don't forget, put the greatest fraction first. Here I have 5 over 6 and 5 over 6 is the same. So 5 over 6 minus 5 over 6. Remember, put the denominator as it is, and 5 minus 5 up equals 0. 0 over 6 equals 0. So the final result will be 0. 0 over any number equals 0 except 0. So 0 over 1 equals 0, 0 over 2 equals 0. So 0 over any number except 0 equals 0. Like 0 over 1, 0 over 2, 0 over 3, 0 over 6, all of these equals 0. Number 5, yesterday Marwan ran 2 over 8 of a kilometer and then stopped to drink some water. After his water break, he ran another 2 over 8 of a kilometer. What fraction of a kilometer did Marwan run yesterday? Make circles on the fraction here. What fraction of a kilometer did Marwan run yesterday? It means all the distance he ran. All the distance. All the distance, it means plus. So we must make addition. 2 over 8 plus 2 over 8. We have same denominators, so put it as it is. 8 down. Up 2 plus 2 equals 4. So the final result here, 4 over 8. The last one here, Wagdi's house is 2/3 of a kilometer from school. Taha's house is 1/3 of a kilometer from school. Who lives closest to school? We wanted to compare. Closest here, it means the nearest distance. The nearest, it means the smallest distance. Which is small here? Which is small here? 2/3 or 1/3? The first, it's crazy or normal? We have same denominators, so it's a normal fraction. Which is small here? 1 or 2 is small. 1 is smaller than 2. So 1/3 is smaller than 2/3. So Taha lives closest to school. Let's start the math journal. Write your own fraction, addition or subtraction story problem in the first box. I ate 3/8 of my pizza and my friend Ali ate 4/8 of his pizza. How much of the pizza did we eat together? Here we make circles or underlines or shaded on the first fraction, the second fraction, and the key word here is together. Together it means what? Together it means plus. So here we eat 3/8 plus 4/8. Here we have same denominators 8, so put 8 as it is and makes plus up. 3 plus 4 equals 7. So the result will be 7 over 8. Thank you for listening.